All right, let's jump right in. We're talking about a huge shift that's happening in tech, and it's happening right now. This isn't just another story about AI getting a little bit faster or a little bit smarter. No, this is about AI completely changing its own job description in a way that's redesigning our world.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. For the longest time, we've thought of AI as the thing that uses powerful computer chips, but that whole dynamic is flipping on its head. Now, AI is becoming the architect of those chips. Think about that for a second. It's creating this incredible feedback loop that is just a total game changer.
So, that leads us to the big question, really the core of what we're digging into today. What in the world happens when the tool you've created starts designing the very intelligence that builds it? And this isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. It's happening as we speak, and the semiconductor industry is ground zero.
Okay, so let's break down this shift. For years, the formula was pretty straightforward, right? We build better chips, and that means we get more powerful AI. But now, that equation is reversing. More powerful AI is designing unbelievably better chips. AI has basically gone from being a hungry consumer to a brilliant co-creator.
To really get our heads around this, we've got to go inside what is maybe the most complex manufacturing environment on the entire planet, the semiconductor factory. This is the place where you can see AI's new role playing out in real time, from the very first design sketch to the final finished product.
Now, making a chip is just an incredibly complicated process, but AI is having this revolutionary impact at a few key stages. We're talking about the initial design, where the whole blueprint is dreamt up, and then all the way at the other end, in manufacturing, where that blueprint becomes a physical reality. AI is completely shaking up both ends of this process.
So let's start with design, because the difference here is just staggering. I mean, look at this. What used to take teams of brilliant human engineers weeks of careful, painstaking work, we're talking arranging billions of tiny transistors, can now be done by an AI in just a few hours. It uses something called reinforcement learning, which is kind of like how you'd learn to master a video game. It just tries millions and millions of combinations, gets rewarded for the good ones, and eventually finds the absolute best layout for the chip. It's incredible.
And then, when you get to the factory floor, wow, the impact is just as big. You have AI systems watching the production line, predicting when a machine might fail, spotting defects so small they're literally microscopic. And the result? They can cut down on wasted materials by up to 30%. That is a huge leap in efficiency. And these gains, they don't just stay in the factory. Oh no, they're creating massive economic shockwaves.
Yeah, this whole revolution, it isn't just happening on a production line. It's sending enormous economic waves across the entire tech world, creating something that analysts are now calling the AI supercycle.
So what exactly is this AI supercycle? Well, think of it like a powerful, self-fueling engine. The smarter the AI gets, the more computing power it demands. That huge demand drives the industry to invent even more powerful, specialized chips. And guess what those new, better chips do? They unlock the next generation of AI. It's this accelerating loop of innovation that just keeps feeding itself.
And the scale of this, it's just hard to wrap your head around. To give you some perspective, the market for just these specialized AI chips is on track to explode. We're talking a potential value of $400 billion by 2027. That's bigger than the entire economy of some countries. Wild.
And that's just one part of it. The companies that are actually making these chips, they're looking at a boost to their annual earnings of around $95 billion as early as 2025. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky prediction for 10 years from now. This is the economic reality that's taking shape as we speak.
Of course, this supercycle isn't just one company. It's a whole ecosystem of players. You've got the hardware titans like NVIDIA, who are building the fundamental infrastructure. Then you have manufacturers like TSMC, the ones who physically build these incredibly advanced chips. You've got software companies like Synopsys that create the AI tools that design the chips in the first place. And then you have the big tech giants, like Google and Amazon, who are now designing their own custom AI chips to perfectly fit their own massive needs. Everybody's getting in on this.
But this story isn't just about machines and money. It's also completely transforming the human side of innovation, particularly in research and development. So, how does this new AI co-creator change the way we invent the future?
Well, the numbers really speak for themselves. I mean, just look at this chart. AI is boosting R&D productivity by an estimated 30 to 50%. And then check out that second bar. It's helping slash the time it takes to get new products out the door by up to 40%. That means we're seeing faster innovation pretty much everywhere.
So naturally, this is going to change the job market. A lot of the routine stuff, basic data entries, simple analysis, that's getting automated. But, and this is a big but, this shift is also creating a huge demand for brand new, highly specialized jobs. We're talking about AI ethics officers, more data scientists, and machine learning engineers. People who can build, manage, and most importantly, ethically guide these super powerful AI systems. So here's the most important takeaway from all this. The goal is augmentation, not replacement. AI is a tool, an incredibly powerful one, that amplifies human creativity and intelligence. The people who are going to be most valuable in the future, the best scientists, the best engineers, they'll be the ones who can combine their deep knowledge of their own field with a real fluency in how to work with AI.
But with all of this incredible power, well, you know what they say. It comes with immense responsibility. And this new partnership with AI is forcing us to face some really complex, really tough ethical questions. And that brings us to a really critical question. We've seen how AI can turbocharge discovery and innovation, but if it's amplifying human genius, can it also amplify human bias? Could an AI that's designing the hardware of our world accidentally build our own societal prejudices right into the silicon?
The problem really comes down to a classic saying from computer science: garbage in, garbage out. See, AI systems aren't born biased. They learn from the data we feed them. And if that data is full of our own historical inequalities or societal biases, well, the AI is just going to see those biases as patterns to be learned and, unfortunately, replicated.
And making this even trickier is what's known as the black box problem. As these AI models get more and more complex, their decision-making process can become, well, a mystery, even to the people who built them. We can see the data that goes in, and we can see the answer that comes out, but the why in between can be totally hidden from us.
This is a fantastic way to understand the problem. So you train an AI to tell the difference between wolves and huskies. You show it a bunch of pictures of wolves, and a lot of them happen to be in snowy settings. It gets really, really good at it. But here's the catch. It hasn't actually learned what a wolf looks like. It's just learned that a snowy background is a great clue for the word wolf. So it's getting the right answer for the completely wrong reason. And that's a seriously dangerous flaw when the stakes are a lot higher than just identifying dogs.
So, what do we do about this? Well, the scientific community is trying to get ahead of it by setting up new guidelines. And it all boils down to two things, really: accountability and transparency. The idea is that researchers are always responsible for what their AI tools produce. They have to be upfront and transparent about how they're using them. And this one's critical. An AI can never be listed as an author. It's a tool, and the human using it is always accountable. And we're seeing little reminders of this pop up everywhere, even right in the tools themselves. I mean, OpenAI puts a disclaimer right there telling you that its models can get things wrong. And this isn't just a theoretical problem, they're real-world consequences. Just recently, 2 lawyers got fined $5,000 because they submitted a legal brief written by ChatGPT that was just full of totally made-up case citations. It's a perfect example of why human oversight isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential.
And that brings us to our final thought for today. There is zero doubt that AI is a powerful accelerator. It's pushing science and technology forward faster than we ever thought possible. But the real question, the one we all have to think about, is this. As we race into this new future, are we building the ethical and practical guardrails fast enough to keep ourselves on the road? Thanks for joining us.